Hello and welcome back to Jesse's Vintage Garage, and here we're back on the 84 through 91 style Evolution engine here, and this is the 89 we've been working on, and we got the flywheel in here, we got the alignment studs in, the one here on top, and the two bottom ones, and we're getting ready to work on this some more here and find out measurements and stuff, and all the gears we're going to be running here. So let's go ahead and get started.
Just slid this on.
Yeah, so we got the pinion gear in right now. This is the one that came with the engine. It's pretty good shape. We'll probably end up reusing it. This is the aftermarket Andrews cam that he picked out. Yeah, nothing special
EV27.
It is EV27? Okay.
Yep, it's an EV27.
And we got that that spacer piece in there in just the right spot. It's a special shim that sits in there in a specific way. You gotta have it this way, that way it actually feeds the cam. The oil can get down there and doesn't get in the way of the lifter blocks. So alright, yeah, that's the special cam cover that he had bought that actually didn't require any reaming, so that's pretty sweet.
And it goes right on. I'm going to just snug this so it doesn't come loose.
Now we're putting that in like this just to make sure that this thing can rotate. Because before we tried doing this and you weren't able to get that to rotate at all. Alright, so as we sit, it's getting kind of tight when it wants to rotate. It doesn't have the back and forth movement, just snaps back and forth at all like it's supposed to. So we're going to pop it apart and measure it. I mean, there's a chance that this aftermarket cam is brand new and this worn gear is...
It might have been I didn't have both.
Yeah, and I guess it could be how you have that tightened. No, it's supposed to be doing that. So let's see if we can keep it doing that. Otherwise, gears could need to be changed.
Yeah, it's
It's supposed to be able to rotate it like in quarters and be able to move it.
yeah.
Or thirds, at least.
Yeah. It's moving. It just doesn't flump. It's got play. It's got nice. I think it's going to be good.
Okay.
And
Anyways,
it rolls around real nice.
we can pop them out and measure them if you want to and show how that's done. And because we're supposed to, there's a chart that comes with these cams. And it's right over there. And it talks about how you need to measure it to verify the correct pinion gear and stuff. And you want to use light colors, like if you have an orange, like for stock ones, like stock engines, it would have like an orange cam dot. The pinion gear would have an orange dot. And you want to make sure they match, otherwise you'd have wine or you'd have the opposite, a knock when it would run.
Yeah, if it's too loose.
Alright, so here is the chart for measuring your gears. It's calling for 108 pins. Like when we were doing the panhead, it was calling for 105 pins. And you gotta measure them across. And then you get your measurement there. Then you reference it up here and it tells you what kind of pinion you need. And there's the same chart like this in the work service manuals too. So I mean.
And it calls for 108. It has something to do with being 77 and a half and later.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I mean, we should probably talk about that. So I don't want to be confusing, but
41 to 77 and a half.
Yeah.
Is the early gears, and they take 105 pins. And then in 75 and a half, they change the profile of the teeth and they put a groove in the cam. And so then the gears to measure them required 108.
And that went on to 89, right? So then
actually went to 99.
Okay.
And this cam that's in here goes from 84 to 99. So I don't know.
Yeah, but the pinion.
But the pinions only go to 80, 89. This pinion, because something changed in 90 on the pinions, and I don't know what it is because I don't have one.
Yeah, I mean, didn't look into that. So I mean,
We could look into it, but I don't have one, so I don't know.
anyway, yeah, we're gonna take this off here and see what we'll just see what it measures out to be. Okay, so here's the cam here. Of course, we didn't have it shimmed or nothing, so we don't have it the proper shim setting in there. But we have to have that for sure when we get going forward, because we don't want to gouge into the cam cover. So, and then this is just like sitting here, so we're gonna get this off of here, and then we'll show you the measurement. But I'll dig out the 108 pins here. Okay, when measuring the gear, you take your 108 pins, and you fork the top two, and you put it off to the right on the bottom one, and you measure the width there, and what she's got set up right there, just like that. And we're coming up with 1.484 somewhere in there. We don't have a fourth number.
Well, it's right past
Just
the
past the
4,
four?
1, maybe a 0.1 or 0.2.
So somewhere in
past-
this range, so then that makes it a red gear.
It's a red gear.
And we did find that it has a tight spot too.
Yeah,
So
it's used. I think we need to get a new red gear.
I think this gear is messed up because when this thing was ellipticizing at 15 thousandths out of round, it caused weird wear on this thing, and it made a tight spot and a loose spot. So
Now we'll measure this.
we don't want to buy a whole bunch of these to get the right one. We don't have a shop supply, you know.
So a red. We don't have any color dots. So, but a red. This one should match this one. It should be
Standard
within
size.
this range, because when you buy new Andrews cams, they normally put them in with a standard gear. So that would make this 7491 or something.
Yeah, so we don't want him to turn around and have to buy a bunch of gears. So it's looking like it's this one, and we'll tell him the part number so he can get this ordered, because it'll be a lot better off having a new gear in it. Okay, so we just got done measuring our pinion, and it comes out to be red. But we need to measure the gear, the cam gear as well. And he just got done doing that here with the 108 pins. And we're coming up with a standard size here, 2.748, somewhere between 5. And it looks like it's more closer to the next
To the
number.
9.
Yeah, more closer to the next number, which would be 9. Than,
9. So this is the range, and it falls right in there.
so we're
So
gonna be,
it's a red.
yeah, it would be good with a red set. So it would be like a red pinion gear. This paperwork doesn't say what the actual Andrews gear is measured at exactly, but
No, but they do give the Harley number for red. So if we're going to replace it, we're going to replace it with this, because we found that the pinion measured somewhere into this, but it depends upon where you put the pins,
yeah,
because there's some wear in the teeth.
yeah, like we were talking about in the previous segment. So yeah,
Although it's not real bad, it's only a part of a thousandths off. I guess I could leave it up to him. The gear don't look bad. It could work. It just depends upon if he wants to spend the money on
yeah,
it.
they're not cheap. They're like 100 or something, $100 and something each.
Yeah, 120 to 130 bucks, 140.
And then times 7, that would be pretty bad if we needed to just buy them all.
Yeah.
So yeah. We're getting ready to put the left case on the flywheel, or the flywheel in the left case, whatever way you want to put it. We're doing this now because we got done figuring out the pinion gear and the cam gear, and we know that this is true, so we're good to commit to this next step, because you don't really want to take them on and off all the time. So we're just lubing the oil, lubing these bearings with oil right now. So this is assembly lube.
I don't know how long it'll be before it runs.
So yeah, we got this sitting on our special tool here that holds the flywheel. We made it quite some time ago, and it's like a aluminum base here with these threaded 9/16 bolts that have been cut off here into it, so we can take it apart easily and put it away nice. And that's what size the hole is. It's 9/16, so it just slides in there nice. It doesn't flop around and move. We don't want it to move.
Yeah, I'm oiling it. I'm only sitting it here to oil it.
Yeah, because you can't put it on yet anyway. It's got to be, the case half has to be laying there first.
Right. Now there's a spacer. Can't forget that.
Yes.
And the bearing. These bearings are the ones that came out of it, so it should go.
Alright, I have a special tool here. Don't know if you'll need both of the spacers that go in it or not, so.
Is there a rod that goes through there?
Yeah, there might be about. I don't remember where it was at.
There's that. I think we will need the other spacer. Oh, there we go.
There's still enough threads, yeah, so we're good. They kind of go on pretty easy, so don't always need this tool to hold it, but it doesn't hurt.
It goes on pretty hard. If you don't have the tool, it's really hard to hold the flywheel.
And then on them bolts that are coming through, they gotta be short enough so they don't come into this, touch the side of this case. Otherwise, when this gets pressed down onto it, it can actually mess the case up if it was too long. That's so good. And make sure you get the rods in the correct spots, because this thing goes past the rod, and if they're both on one side somehow, which I don't think is possible, but or something, it can mess it up.
There it is.
All right, cool. Now you should have like a slight shake when you have it down, and that's there.
This is the piece here. That's got to come out now.
Yeah, we gotta put the bearing.
The seal.
Yeah. Here's a special tool, what it looks like without the stuff on it, and we had to raise the flywheel up off of this so we could clear the so the nut could clear this. That, and to give us the right height here, so these weren't touching that case half. But that's kind of how it goes together. It's pretty neat. We got the case over here with the flywheel pressed into it now, and we're just measuring this pinion gear some more and just making sure we got the right stuff going on here. Now, when you get the cam, it comes with paperwork here, and it talks about specific things and important notes here, and it talks about how certain pinion gears from 77 to 89 are, and then they changed them. Now, this paperwork here is from a shovelhead 74-inch shovel head and pan engines. But what I'm going to get at here is drive gears on the 77 and later cams are different. They have a 1.97 diameter groove cut into the gear face. Early and late cam drive gears are not interchangeable. So the other thing is the pinion gear is different. Now, I have a gear for the pan head, which should have been the pre-77, the 77.5 early and older gear, has teeth all the way across this. And then the 77.5 and later, all the way to 89, even in the Evolution years, looks like this. And then in 93, which we were going off of on the sheet, which we were doing, probably not doing it right.
For the dimensions.
It's talking about the 93 gear. Well, this gear is for when they changed the case half. They went to the case, they went to head breathing instead of case breathing, and they changed all this down there. The other thing is these pinion gears should have like 2 marks on them. You only use one of them because one of them's on a tooth and one of them is between the tooth. You gotta make sure you get that right as well. We'll be doing that coming up. But right now what we have for measurements, kind of scratched down here a little bit, but
The cam, the new Andrews cam, is a red dot. It measures right in the middle of all of this. And so that tells us it's a red dot. This pinion here is the red dot pinion. Now, the funny story with this is, we still have it here, it measures out to 1.474. And if you look here, there's 7.74, no, 7.3, but it's about 7.38 or 7.39 maybe. And so 3.7, so here's 3.7, and then maybe 200 thousandths into this one. So this would be on the minimal to tight side. This one will be from the tight to the loose side. What was this gear new? Who knows? The dot's gone. It looks like they ground the dot off.
And then earlier we were talking about how it measures differently depending on what teeth you pick.
Yes.
Each other.
So this gear is worn. So we're at a dilemma here, which one you actually order. I talked to the owner, and he's decided that he wants to err on the side of looseness for now. So he's going to order a red dot, and that's going to put us into the high to the looser side. So it should not be tight and cause wear. He's afraid that if we get this one at the beginning here and goes high, if they manufacture it and it's more towards the high side, it'd be too tight on here.
Yeah, because this range is actually error for manufacturing.
You're right.
Okay, the other thing is, this is a -78 part number.
Right.
And with the 78 through 89 gears, you measure with 105 pins. Now,
Right.
we were measuring it earlier with 108 pins, but what happens is you'll have the same result. It'll just be
Different numbers.
0.3 difference than the 0.05 and 8. And yes, like this one here. I don't know why there's not a chart in here for the 77 through 89,
But there is.
or 90 or 91. There should be, because the box says on this cam, it says that it's for 84 to 99
84 to
even.
99. That's
Yeah.
all of them.
And
And
then-
there's 2 pinion changes in there.
in that period of time.
Yes.
So just be careful when you do that. Make sure you just get the right measurement and do it 3 or 4 times if you have to. But,
Like we did.
yeah, because like we were saying earlier, even these gears are over $100 a piece, unless you want to buy the whole set of them and not use 6 of the 7.
Or know somebody that has them all.
Or yeah, unless you have them all, then you'll get the right one somewhere. But
It'd be nice to know somebody that has 3 or 4 different ones.
yeah.
But yeah, so
Well, we feel pretty good about getting a different pinion gear here, because this is just not I don't know, it's just not good enough to reuse. It's got its own problems, and while we're going through the trouble of truing the flywheel, went through all the trouble. You know, and a lot of even the person that was working on this before the guy bought it, that we're working on it for now, they were cutting corners because they were trying to make this work. Either that, or the flywheel was so out of true that it caused this gear to do this, and then the guy just gave up because he didn't know how to fix it. But then some people don't go to the extreme depth and trying to make everything line up just right as what we're trying to do here. And we just want to show you all that stuff. So now we're ready to install the bearings on the pinion shaft here, which we're going to do next. And then we'll be able to slide the case down. We'll glue it, and we'll slide the case down, and then we'll put the new alignment studs and stuff in. They're correct, proper hardware that holds this together, because it's supposed to have 6 studs, 5 long ones, a little shorter one, and 2 bolts. And we have 5 bolts and 3 studs. Did I count that right? Yeah, something like that. We don't have the right stuff. And then what we're going to use to seal this down with will be high temp anaerobic flange sealant from Permatex. And we don't need a whole lot on there.
And the part number is right here.
Yeah, 51031 part number.
That stuff really holds good and oil tight.
It's spendy, but it's better than silicone, and it's better than Yamabond and everything else.
Yes.
We feel. So
Anything that squeezes out inside as the motor's running, the oil dissolves it and throws it away. It only cures under airtight squeeze. Anything that squeezes out just wipes off with a cloth or washes away with oil and dissolves into the oil and it goes away with the first oil change. So it's superb sealer.
So a couple of things I want to talk about here before we move on too much. This is the segment right after talking about we need the gear. Well, he got the gear. This is the new one. It's red. I'm not sure the manufacturer offhand, but this is not a Jim's one, but it's in really good shape. It's brand new. It should be good. We just got to make sure it measures properly with the gear now, because we would have known that the Jim's one would have worked, but this one's a different gear, different manufacturer, might be different teeth and all that stuff too. So we're going to measure that again, make sure it's not too tight. This was the original one. See how rough that is? Worn out. I mean, it still would have worked, but it's just kind of beat up, you know, and then it's better off to start good here and new. The other thing is, you got the case bolt and case stud set from Colony. Chrome one. It's for the 79 through 95 engines, and all the stuff here for it. This is kind of accurate looking. But there's a problem with this, though. These case studs do not have, they're not alignment studs. They're straight across to the threads. Like this. See how that's got a step in it? It's thicker here and narrower in the same size here at the end. So this helps line up the stud, the case halves. We need this. So we're lucky we have 3 of these with the original set. So we're gonna use them for sure. We'll probably use the Colony stuff everywhere else, but we have to have alignment studs. It's a necessity. Could have looked up the original parts in the parts book and order them individually. They're about 12 to 15, sometimes $20 a piece for them special studs, but they're special. They're not just run-of-the-mill stud material and threads on each end. I mean, it's important. So we're gonna go ahead and get started here with putting this back together at the bottom end, because we have all the measurements and everything all figured out. But if you do get a gear that you're wanting to run, but you get something different, make sure you measure it again. It's important, because it could be off just a little bit because of manufacturing differences and so on. All right, so we got the new red gear installed. We have the shims figured out for our free play on the cam. It's the in and the left and right movement here you see, or in and out movement. And you gotta check it in 4 different spots when we rotate. And we figured out what we needed there, and now we got it set up to
Check gear lash.
gear lash. Yeah.
We got to check that in 4 different positions.
All right, so we're gonna check our our lash, our gear lash here.
Gear
we got
lash.
the dial indicator touching one of them teeth on the cam right there.
And it can't touch another tooth. It's got to just touch the tooth, and the crank can't move. Then I got to go in here and I got to move the crank, move this. And what we're moving is 1/1000ths.
Right there.
I could move this down to 0. Get a better picture of it. See, 1/1000ths.
Yeah, so the factory setting was what?
1/2 to 2. Okay, now we're going to roll to 3 o'clock or 9 o'clock. Keep going. Back. Keep going. Over to there. And I want to get there. Right about there is where we want to hold
Okay,
it.
got it. Yep.
Okay, now we're going to check this again. Yep. Not quite even 1. Okay, now we're going to go to bottom. Back it up a little. Right about there. Got it?
Yeah, got it.
Yep, about 1. It's definitely not over. We got to be within the range of 1/2 to 2. Okay.
Okay, so now we're going over to 3.
Yeah, somewhere around 3. Yeah, right about there can work. About 1.
Yeah, it's moving like maybe 1.
I gotta see it on the 0 here.
Almost. Yeah, it's somewhere close to 1 to over a little bit over 1.
Okay, well, we're well within tolerance. And then back up at the top, see, so it says in the book that if you're over, all the rest of them are 1, and we got one that's slightly over 1, that's just about perfect. Then what we also got here is your gasket. This is just snugged in here. The gasket is said to, in the book, and everything I've ever known, is that the gaskets compress 6/1000ths of an inch. So what we need to have here is somewhere around it is said to have, the cam play can be within 1 to 50,000ths.
It's a lot.
That's a lot.
Compared to the last one we were working
But we
on.
don't like them that wide. So I'm shooting for somewhere around 10. And if I, in fact, this is a 10. And if I can get this to sit, and I think this just fits. And if I remember right, 11 does not fit. Yeah, here's 11. I guess 11 does fit. Barely. Let's keep going. I'll try at 12. It's hard to measure when the motor was sideways. Oh, there, it's real tight now.
So what's the maximum?
50. And we got 12.
Yeah.
We got 12 right now. So when the gasket compresses, we'll end up somewhere around 6.
Yeah, when it gets compressed, isn't like when we torque this.
We're
thing
going to torque it all down. So we'll be down to around 6, 7, somewhere in there. Or 8. It'll be plenty. It'll be under 10. And so it'll be perfect.
Yeah, so now that we have all this established, we can actually
take this back apart. We got to take these 3 pins out. I got the crankcase
alignment
studs
the ones
in.
from the original set that was with this motor. So we're going to reuse those like I was saying in the last segment. So
we went through all of this just to test this and to make sure everything was within tolerance, because otherwise we needed to, it says that if it's outside of the 2000s window in any of the positions of like, let's say all of them were, you went from 1 to 2 and then a 3, well, that's out of tolerance. We would have had to take the crank back apart, and it says in the book that the truing needs to be adjusted. Well, we don't have to. It's probably, this crank, if I remember right, we had it under 1,000s all the way around. So
Tired of the, what the tolerance in the book
Yes.
said on truing even.
yeah, the book, this book that we got here, this 97 book, says all we needed to do is get it within 2,000s, and it's like, I couldn't believe it was like that. Our panhead manuals tell us to have it, within 1. And so anyway,
Yeah.
anyway, this is fine. We're now the next step is we're going to take this all back up, take it out of there. We know what shim it is, and we're going to take the gear out, and we're going to pull this case off, and we're going to seal it, and then we're going to put all the crankcase bolts in it. And if we needed to shim it, we got a whole shim pack here full of shims, and but we won't need these now because everything should be set. The only other thing we got left to check as we take this apart is the breather gear and the breather shim setting, and we got to do that with just a gasket on and like a ruler flat edge, and put a feeler gauge in it.
Yeah, I will do that next. So
Yep, we'll do that next. Now we're going to check breather end play, breather gear end play, for a shim, where the tolerance is 1,000ths to 11,000ths.
and that's measured across the gasket as well, right?
Yes. And when it talks about this in the manual, later in the manual, it talks about how you put a gasket on it and you measure it. You measure what you got here for gap, and then you deduct 6,000ths, and then you come up with a shim that fits it. So in here somewhere, push rod, breather. Oh, here we go. So the pinion gear. Here we go, before the disassemble. Determine the amount of end play in the breather gear as follows. Assemble the breather gear and the dry cover gasket to the gear case. Select a spacer washer. Use a disassembled washer unless it is known to give the incorrect spacing, and position it on the end of the breather. Place a steel straight edge across the gear case and the spacer. With a thickness gauge, measure the distance between the straight edge and the spacer. Subtract 6,000ths. That's the amount the gasket will compress. And that's where I come up with that, because for years it tells you that.
Yeah.
From this figure to determine the gear end play. The end play tolerance is 1 to 16. So we need to come up with a gear that would be somewhere way over 1. I would like to be somewhere between 3 and 5s or 6.
The gear shim, yeah.
After the 6,000. So we're looking for somewhere around 10 or 11. Something like that. 10 or 12 even. And so we'll put a washer on here. We'll take this and go straight across there. Here is a 12. Wow. That just fits pretty lovely. Let's see. I might have got lucky here because we got a whole bag full of them. Let's see what the next one brings. Let's see if here's 12, 13, and a 14. Okay, so 13 barely fits. I would say 14 don't go.
Okay, nice.
So we will end up with, you take 6 off of 14 or 13, depending upon how you want to look at this. Let's look at this another way here. I can get in there better. 14 might just fit. It's stiff. It don't quite go. So we're probably 12, 13. So that'd give us a 6. And I think this is perfect.
And now we're going to end up putting the sealant in here. Permatex high temp anaerobic flange sealant. This is the same stuff as Loctite 510. And
it's the same stuff that they use in Harley Davidson's. You can go to the Harley Davidson dealer and you buy their crankcase sealer, and it's anaerobic, but it is the exact same product as this.
Awesome. So I mean, this is we just didn't buy this from the Harley shop, but yeah.
And it'll have a
get.
different part number on it. It'll say
and
it'll say Harley on it.
Yeah.
And it costs a lot more.
It'll have the Harley part number on it and everything, and say Harley all over it and everything. Okay, so we're gonna start putting this on both sides here, and then put them together. All right, I talked about this earlier, the colony kit segment before, but yeah, we're opening it up now, and these are the studs I was talking about, and they are definitely not alignment studs. You can feel it, they're not. So we'll reusing these alignment studs here, and then we'll put the rest of the stuff in. Yeah, see this. I've never seen anything like this see that difference there? I've never seen a mistake or something like this from Colony ever before. They're usually like really good stuff, but I support everything they make, but
so we're gonna not use 3 of these.
Right.
Whichever ones. Well, yeah, it'd be 3 of these. We'll just take 3 of these out. We just won't use them.
But we'll be using the new bolts and the new chrome washers and nuts.
Yep.
And then these 3 studs instead. We're getting this all prepared as we get ready to start gluing this together. This is ready to go too, because we don't want it to be sitting out forever while we're doing this part. Just finishing up putting the stuff on, and we're ready to put these 2 together. Just make sure you get all the surface there, mating surfaces.
Anything that squeezes out inside and out, we've said it before, it just washes away with oil and dilutes, and it'll get dropped out with the first oil change. Unlike silicone, it'll harden, fall off, get clogged up in the oil pump, and passageways and everything else.
Yeah, we don't like to use silicone inside engines and transmissions and stuff. It just does bad stuff.
It's bad.
Seen it too many times where it's caused a problem more than it's caused a good thing to happen. So
okay, so we got this one all covered.
All right, so in the beginning of the chapter here, it talks about the torque sequence on the crankcase stud nuts and bolts. So we have to go find the actual section. So jump ahead here. This page. And there's our sequence. So it's the alignment studs first, bottom one towards the oil pump side, and then center, then the front motor mount side. Then we go from there. So we'll be going over this, and we are going to. It also talks about. I wanted to mention this too. It also talks about how you gotta like start with 10 foot-pounds, then you have to install the cylinders and stuff, and then you finish. So
we're gonna have to put these to 10, and then put the studs in, and then put the cylinders on.
I'm not sure how many people actually realize that, because I've seen motors go together where they don't do that, where they don't put the cylinders on and do the initial torque. They torque this all together first. So it's a good thing we caught that or knew that, or that way we could say it to everybody. So anyway, so I gotta get the the inch-pound torque wrench set up for 10 foot-pounds, and then we'll be ready to go on to the next step. All right, so I got the torque wrench set. We need 10 foot-pounds. So we're going to be using this inch-pound torque wrench. So I have it set for 120 inch-pounds. And we're ready to start the sequence here. All right, so number one, oil pump side and here. Okay, and our number two's up here. And number three is the bottom case alignment stud towards the front mount. All right, that's three. So four is this one here. Okay, five is this one here.
Is that a stud?
Yeah, it's a stud. Just below the...
A stud, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
just below the front bar mount. All right, then six is over here. Okay, that's six. Seven is this bolt here. Eight is now this bolt. And that's it, eight.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so
All right, next, I think, I don't know, we're gonna get ready to start putting the stuff in and
yep, we got to.
studs on and
We're
stuff.
gonna clean off the stuff here.
Well, I think we're gonna come to a close on this video for now. We're gonna be coming back at this in another segment, another video, of course. But well, I hope you enjoyed everything we covered here. We covered the gear, the cam, the lash, the free play, gluing the
Breather.
cases together. Yeah, the breather clearance here on the shim here on the washer part. And the next segment, we're going to come back and we're going to put all the stuff in here, get the oil pump mounted in here, because we have to do that all next too when we start putting these gears in here. And the next torque sequence for the cases going together is like 15 to 17 foot-pounds. That might be it's only like 5 or 7 foot-pounds difference from where we're at right now. But this stuff should stay kind of moist for a while when we get to the next segment, because we're gonna go along here and keep going. But like I was saying in the last segment, though, didn't really see many people ever not torque this all together at once and then put these on and then torque it again. I've never seen that happen before, and I was kind of surprised when I read that because I didn't realize that. But I don't know how crucial that is. But we want to do this right and don't want it to leak, so we'll just follow the book. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed everything, and we'll see you again soon.